Cool, let's get started. This is James speaking. I'm betting that the way that you create courses is way harder than it should be. In fact, if you're creating your first course, I guarantee you're going to do it in a way that means too much work for you. What are we going to cover today? I'm going to go through a simple process. I'm going to tell you about some statistics, basically, just to give you a framework as to what's happening with creating your online courses and what's really involved. But I'm also going to go over a tool at the end that shows you how easily this can be done. So we're going to go look at some current statistics. That's the first thing, just so you put in perspective how hard or easy it is to create these online courses. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to go over the 20 top, or at least part of the 20 top topics that get covered. And so you'll be able to know, like, am I in a market that is being, actively course created? Is it something I should look at? Is it too competitive? I'm going to take a quick look at what a course is so that we're talking about the same thing. And then we're going to talk about big problems with first-time course creators and how using AI tools completely changes that. And if you watch to the end, you're going to be surprised and delighted on how quickly you can create a course, because what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take the content that we put together in the 20 minutes of research I did before this live session. We're actually going to do it, and I'm going to create a course from it, or at least the outline of a course where you can just actually kind of put it together, record it, and in fact, you'll have something that you could add as a course. And I'm talking about everything right from the course content right to the quizzes that you want to put in and testing to make sure that people understand what it is. So let's take a look first at the real big problem for people doing that. So you've probably heard, if you're an expert or if you're passionate about something, you want to teach it, got that, understand. What do you think the statistic is on people who actually think, oh man, I'm going to create a course, but do they actually create one? Right now, just to give you an idea, from Course Method, 43% of course creators complete their course within 1 to 3 months. It takes people up to 3 months, half of the people up to 3 months to even complete a course. Now, think about that for a second. If you were going to do a course on, for whatever tends, let's say you're going to do a course on how to use AI tools, and it took you 3 months to create the course on AI tools. Do you think by the time the 3 months was up, that particular course would be of any value anymore? Probably not. It takes a long time to do it. Even though you're passionate about something, you have a skill, things change. So if you're creating courses, you got to make sure that you create them pretty quickly. Even people who actually start creating courses, 43% take 3 months. The rest take more. 50% don't even finish. So if you're a first-time course creator, you're making it way harder than it has to be. Now, the other thing is just recently, within the last year, the use of AI tools has increased the number of courses. We got a 40% increase in completion rates and 30% increase in boost in student satisfaction. So not only are the courses getting created more quickly, but they're getting done and created in a way that the students are actually liking them better, which is a whole other thing. That's from Learning Revolutions in Exploding Topics. So AI tools, you got to start to use them. Let's take a look, and what are the topics or courses that you might want to focus on as you're starting with this. And here's the top 20. I'm going to go through them. There's 9 kind of sections. Some of them have some sections, but these are the ones from Coursera, Udemy, and LinkedIn Learning, just to give you some perspective of where they came from. Some of the topics were personal development and self-development is kind of the first big topic. That's things like time management, goal setting, strategies, things like that, mindfulness and personal development topics. Business entrepreneurship, digital marketing, starting a business, and e-commerce, things like drop shipping and digital sales, managing online stores. Those are the other ones that are there, number 2. Technology and software is number 3. So these are the ones about how to use tools like AI tools and pieces of software as a service, different things like that. 4th one is creative arts. So it's not all about business. Creative arts are things like, do I have a particular graphic design or something about photography or videography? Do I have something about writing or blogging where it's a creative endeavor that I'm doing as an expert or someone that's skilled in it? Health and fitness is number 5. What was the other ones I have? Obviously health and fitness, fitness training, nutrition and diet, wellness. Language learning was a big one. Arts and crafts, number 7. So all of the DIY projects, and again, skills that you have. And then professional skills, public service, public speaking, customer service. Those are all top kind of topics that are covered, and those are the popular ones. So if you're thinking, okay, great, I'm going to do a course on that, and you look at, technology and software, digital marketing, health and fitness, excuse me, there's all sorts of different choices there. Are you going to take 3 months, 5 months, 6 months to finish one, even if you finish, or are you going to have to do something quickly? And you need more than one course, you need multiple courses. Again, this market's changing quickly. Information is available. You have to be able to put it together quickly. And it's not easy if you haven't done before. And really, what's a course? That's another piece, just to make sure that you and I understand what we're talking about. When I'm talking about a course is structured content. Okay. It has multimedia in general, has multimedia content, so it's multimodal. It has audio, text, visual, handouts, all sorts of stuff other than just you talking into a camera, for example. Infographics, it's all sorts of different types of content that are presented in a structured way. Often and usually it should have interactive components, whether those be processes that you have to practice or do, quizzes that you take during the session. Has to be accessible. If it's an online course, it has to be accessible online, of course. And many times a course has some kind of assessment, a certification at the end. And for me personally, I did a whole video on what a course is versus a program. But when you think of a course, at the end of the day, you want to be able to have taught something like a skill so that people have a new skill that they didn't have before, or they've improved on a skill that they had, or that you provided a transformation that if by completing the course, you would be in a position where the person would get what it is that you promised them. You made a big fat claim and it's promisable and deliverable. Now, here's an example of one. If you think about what we're doing right here, it's a gorgeous spring day today and the window's open. So if you hear some noise in the background, that's someone traveling by the window. Back to the content here. If we're putting this course together and it's about a specific outcome, I did a video on the difference between a course and a program, which is a whole other issue. And if you want to make sure to cover that, I'll make sure and put the links below so that you can see that. I'm talking about courses and content here and a particular bit of information that you're promising. But if we wanted to promise in this particular case, if we were going to turn this into a case, or course, pardon me, I'd be able to make some kind of claim about what it is that you'd learn, that you learn how AI tools can, for example, or how to use AI tool to actually create a course in a day as opposed to 3 months or 6 months, or not even doing it at all. So I could make some kind of claim and have a transformation or something at the end that I'm going to promise. And in fact, I'm going to show that to you. So just be patient at the end. But that process of creating that, there's a whole bunch of steps to it. And the two that are the most difficult ones for people starting out, the first one is creating the actual course content. I remember when I first started, it was, I started off in the public speaking business and it was up in front of a group of people live in session. It could have been a live training, could have been a live keynote. It could have been something where you're part of a panel, but you're up in front of people either doing a set presentation that often had a PowerPoint deck or some kind of notes that you went, or visual items that you might have used to guide along the talk. But you were telling a story or providing content, and it wasn't recorded. It was something that you were doing live, and each kind of presentation was different, right? So you may have all of this background and this content that you've created in the past. It may not be recorded, and you may have bits and pieces of it, but you've got to put it together in a way that makes sense in an online course that provides that transformation or new skill transformation. So creating that content and organizing it, curating it, sequencing, structuring it, that is really, really difficult. And that's where most people struggle when they're creating that. The second thing is the technical skills. So you're going, oh, great. I remember when I first started, long time ago, true story, there wasn't enough bandwidth. When I first started, we were on dial-up modems, and you just didn't have enough bandwidth to do video. You couldn't do a headshot video. There wasn't enough bandwidth. So you had to find ways to actually record content, add it into a course, take text and only use text and graphic images. I ended up using a tool that was a whiteboard where I could do live sessions where I could record my voice with an actual clip-on microphone with a wire on it. And I had a Mimeo capture card, which was a big whiteboard with an ultrasound marker on it. And when I wrote on the marker, it would record the voice and capture the voice and do on the screen. It would do a live broadcast of what I was writing on the screen and what I was saying. There was no video of me. The video was of the whiteboard. And because it was just the markings on the whiteboard, there wasn't much bandwidth being used, and it worked on dial-up at the time. Now, that's changing, and as a result, you've got to have some technology to do that. Things like a webcam that you're looking in, things like a speaker that you're using, things like having foot pedals like the Elgato foot pedal to do things about changing back and forth between different kinds of pictures and different kinds of screens. You want to have all sorts of tools in terms of doing the work that you're playing around with when you're creating the content, whether it be graphics or thumbnails or stuff. So there's a lot of technology involved as well, and this can be really difficult. So where does this all come in? And I'm not even talking about marketing and promotion, right? You also, once you create a course, it's hard. You've got to be good at digital marketing. You've got to have a platform to have it on. You've got to be able to have outbound marketing. You've got to be able to have support. Do things like live sessions if it means something important to you. So there's just a lot of pieces in there, and it can be really difficult when you're trying to create the course content, understand the technology that's there, and actually go and do the work that you need to do to get going on that. So what are some of the other, those are kind of big problems. Where does this all fit in? Well, AI tools are the ones that you're going to have to use, and I'm going to show you one today on how I'm taking what we're talking about now and turning that into a presentation that can be quickly turned into a course. Now, what did I do in the background here for this to actually take a look and see how I created this? And just to give you an idea of what an actual course is again. So if we take a look at a course, let me just pull one up here. If I've got a course and I'm putting it together, and let me just go and I'll open up a course on one of the sites here. Actually, let me do this one here. So this is on the teachonline.io course site where we have a number of the courses, and I'm going to do the 3 types of course sales pages course as an example. This one here, and if I scroll down, we've got 14 video tutorials, templates, checklists, live examples, and if I expand all this one, you can see that I've got a whole bunch of different pieces that are there that are all put together and organized in the course, something that people can take and complete. So where did this content come from? And how long did it take me to put this together? Let's take a look. There's a course, that's what we're talking about, but I want to produce one of those. I want to have a graphic here. I want to be able to have my course content. How would I create it? Well, let's just take a look what I did for this preparation for this particular session. And what I'll do is I'll try and open this one so that you get to see more of the screen, and you're free to take a look at this one. What I did in this one is I just used ChatGPT to basically create an outline and ask some questions about what are the big problems for first-time course creators. Like, I know what it is because I've made 100 different courses and 1,000 videos, but I'm thinking about what are the big problems for people starting out. So I wanted to get some perspective, and I asked ChatGPT to help me out. And it basically gave me everything I need to get started. So YouTube video, how to use AI, simplify creating online courses and boost your education business. It gave me this script, everything to start off with here, and I just clarified it over time. And it gave me the actual script. I could read this if I was using the Elgato teleprompter. Actually, it could be right up on my camera. I could be reading this. I do these live, so I'm not doing that right now. But you can see there's a live script there, word for word. I could take it and tweak it, just use ChatGPT to do that. And the great thing is with the new version, I'm using ChatGPT 4.0, it actually searched live and in real time 6 different sites to recreate it after I fine-tune it a little bit. And it's talking about what are the big problems, how do people struggle, what are some of the AI tools, efficiency, quality, and engagement, and big speed. And how do they help? Content generation, video editing, platform setup, and integration. These are the things I was just talking about, right? How do I create my content? What's the technology there? How do I market it and deliver it? Real life stories, conclusions. Again, it did a recap of the script. So I've created all this content. I'm going on, and then I said, you know what? I want to make sure that I have some stats that are accurately done. So I put those, asked for that. It gave me the stats that were here, and these are ones that I talked about earlier, and it gives me the reference on where they came from. Okay, so put this all together, and then I said, what's the definition of a course, just to make sure we're talking about the same things, where the content came from, a little more information that's there. What's the hardest part? Those are the parts that I covered. And I'm sitting there and I'm going, okay, great, I got all this. How is AI changing it? Automating content creation, personalizing learning experiences, enhancing the production. We've covered all sorts of open tabs about this one. Adaptive learning, all sorts of stuff, content that's there. So what did I do? I went back and I took a look at a tool that I introduced. If I look at this, 5 months ago, I looked at this tool as one of the open tabs that we do on a regular basis. And again, I just did a quick look at this. And this is a tool that allows you to give it content or just a prompt. This kind of has ChatGPT built into it. But this one, if I give it a prompt or I cut and paste the content that I had and put it into the tool, it will create the PowerPoint slide deck and or the PDF documents that you can create the content with. So this is a tool that gets rid of that first whole problem. You've got your curated notes, you paste it in, it's going to create a presentation for you. One that most importantly, you have now the slide deck that you can narrate and talk to without having to create it yourself. And it can be done very, very quickly. And in fact, the other thing I did, if I go back to this particular course, the other thing I did is I want to make it kind of interactive. So I said, you know what? I want to make sure that I have, let's scroll down to the bottom here. I gave it a prompt. I said, based on the discussions today, we've had today, create a quiz with 10 questions that if answered correctly would indicate that the person being tested would have a thorough understanding of what was being discussed. So I want to create a quiz for it. I don't have to create one myself. I can create one here with the particular tool. Should be a minimum of 15 questions, and I told it do true or false, multiple choice, single choice. Again, in most of the platforms, there's 8 different styles of quizzes, but those are the ones that are simple to start added. I put them all there together. Now, here's what it created 5 months ago for me, and I'll open up this particular course that I did on what an online course is. And this one, I gave it a prompt, what's an online course, and it actually went through and it created a presentation that I can output as a PowerPoint and narrate while I'm doing it and teach each one, for example, as a lesson and talk about it with my expertise based on the slide deck or the presentation that's put together. And in fact, this one, I've actually set it up with a theme. Where's my, there, I'll change the theme with my fonts, and I can go and change it to whatever style that I want and have the PowerPoint presentation change with different fonts and different styles. Let's do professional ones. What would be a good one for professional? Yeah, let's do this one here. Soft Cloud, we'll do that one. So there's our slide deck put together. We've got the course content put together. It's there. So what happens after this? Let's go take a look. That was one I created 5 months ago. What we did is I took all these notes together, right? Remember I took all these notes? And here's just, I copied them and I put them in a document. I'm just going to go and kind of open these up here. These are all the questions and quizzes and things. What else do I have? I've got 6 pages of content here. And again, I'm just going to copy that. So I'm going to do a Command-C and copy it. And let's go take a look and see what happens when we use a tool like Gamma.app. And I'm going to go and I'm going to close this one. I'm going to go back to the home and I'm going to say, you know what? I want to create a new one. So I'm going to create new. And I have 3 choices: paste in text, generate, or import a file. In my case, I'm just going to paste in the text that I have. The other way import a file, I could have actually had it as a presentation or that content I've curated from all the different places. I could put it in, but let's just paste in some text and see what happens. What do I want? I want, in this case, a presentation put together so I can record it directly into my webcam if I want. Click continue, and it's got me set up in freeform. Let AI divide your content into cards, or I can do precisely and do it myself. Do I want a text? I want it preserve, or I want it fill in your outline with an added detail. So I want that one. Amount on text on card. How much do you want on it? I'll just leave it at medium. Who am I writing for? Aspiring online course creators and educators. It's picked that up already. Conversational, informative, empathetic, English. Let's see what we have here. Choices, images, and format presentation. And you can see I got 5,000 kind of tokens available to me. In this case, I'm using 1,823, and I want to put it into 10 cards is the max here on the free version. And let's go and continue and see what happens. I'm going to, let's do a simple theme here. We'll do the gamma theme, preview theme. That's okay. We'll use that one. And let's generate. So I picked a theme. We'll see what happens and go from there. So here's something where we've actually created a complete presentation with an AI tool that would allow us to right now, if this is finished, just go tweak it. It took it from our notes. It's added graphics. It's broke it into 10 slides. If you had a lesson or an entire course as an example, and you want to break it into 3 to 5 minute lessons, if you're an expert on something, I'm absolutely positive that you would be in a position to look at one of these slides that was taken from your notes and be able to talk to it and explain what it is that would give you something to put into your course. You can also copy and paste the content or the image of the slide deck. You can create a PDF document right from here that automatically takes care of it. And the thing that's really, really cool with this, and let's go take a look at what's been created here. So we've got avoid this course creation mistake, struggle of creating online courses. Again, this is stuff that was taken just with what I created right away. It's put it together. I don't have to worry about it, and it doesn't have to be perfect. That's the other thing that really I want you to think about and avoid when you're doing this. The courses that you usually create the first time are way too big and too long, and more importantly, you won't release them until they're perfect. This is more than enough to release your first course and get started. And again, if you're excited about something, whether that be in some cases other than a particular skill, or pardon me, well, let's say something that you're promising that isn't arts or DIY and craft put together, think about this. You could actually have, if you teach people how to do calligraphy, or if you happen to be teaching people how to do a DIY craft, you can still have AI write the text for it and create this content for you and supplement it with you just recording your hands or recording what you're doing. And having the actual content of the course included along with a little bit that you record. So it can be stuff that you show, it can be stuff that you know. Anything that you want to create, you can use a tool like this and put it together and have it available to you. So let's take a look what I can do with this. Here's actually boosting course completion rates. Man, this is pretty cool. This is a good presentation here. We're in a situation, look, we've got all of this great content put together quickly, easily. It's really simple. It's good looking stuff. I just picked a theme. I can go and change the theme if I want to. And I can start presenting if I want to directly from here and just record my screen with some of the tools that are also available for us. Again, things like Loom, Uscreen. There's tons of tools that are free just to record it and talk to the camera. Very simple stuff. And if you don't even want to show your face, you don't have to. You can just talk to the camera. But you can present it. And in this case, I can also say, you know what? On this one, what I also want to do is I want to share it and I want to export it as a PDF. So I want to download as a PDF or just do a PowerPoint. And again, it gives me the additional fonts that are there if I need those as well. Can publish to a website. Again, a wonderful tool just to make it drop dead simple for you to create online courses. Now, here's one other thing I just want to share with you before we end it for today. I know I've been talking a while on this one, but it's something I just want you to get your head around on how easy it is. Remember I talked about courses at the start have to have more or usually have more than just content? Take a look at the bottom here, and what did I do? I asked ChatGPT to create the quizzes for me. Because I've given it the content, it knows what the content is. It can actually create the quizzes for you as the framework to get started off with. What that means to you is not only is this going to create your content, it's going to create your course materials, it's also going to make it interactive or engagement and making sure that the people that are taking your course, the people that you are teaching, are actually learning what it is that you want them to learn and have an understanding of. So this is powerful stuff. If you're thinking about your first course, you're kind of stuck, you're not sure what to do, don't be afraid to use an AI tool, not only to create your content based on what you already have, but more importantly, to create the actual presentation, and you can do it quickly. How quickly did we create a presentation here? I think I've been talking like 15 or 20 minutes. I get carried away on these ones. Got 15 or 20 minutes. Use a tool like Gamma AI. I did my research for 20 minutes before I got on today. I put that in a document. I gave the document to Gamma.app, and it's actually created the presentation. If I wanted to now use the same web camera that I have, and I'm assuming you have a web camera, you've used one before, talk into the camera, you got a microphone, do the presentation, and you're going to have a video that you can use. And in fact, you can stop and start the video on each of the slides to create individual lessons. This is drop dead simple. Get started, create small courses first, not a big program. Small courses first, and then get better at it and interweave those small courses into your flagship or your key program. And I think in many cases what you're going to find is people are going to be giving away courses, mini courses and micro courses, and selling big programs. And it's your ability to create these quickly, not have a 50% failure rate when you're starting out trying to create your first course, and not taking 3 months to create it, because you are going to fall behind and you won't be able to keep up with how fast things are changing. So I want to thank you very much for your time today. I hope you enjoyed this. 27 minutes. Man, I get going on these and I can't stop. If you need help with this, you want to find out how to create your first course, just reach out to us. Make sure to like and subscribe, of course. But if you go to the trainingsites.io /talk, it's right below there. Just go open it up. I'll spend a half hour with you. Tell me about what you want to do, and I'll give you some direction. And we can either do it for you as part of our agency, or if you want to learn how to do it yourself, I'll direct you to teachonline.io, where we have basically live sessions, classes where you can attend, and also courses, mini courses, and I'm going to be honest, older courses now, but great resources that help you. All these little pieces you have to put together, they're going to help you do that. So take care, expect the best. We'll see you again tomorrow. Actually on Monday, it's Friday today, so it'll be another day Monday. I do these every morning. Again, they're live sessions. Hope you enjoy them. Take care, expect the best. This is James Maduke from trainingsites.io.